Welcome back to another edition of the Course Creation Incubator Podcast. I'm your host, Gina Onativia, here to get you excited about your course creation, your marketing, and to help you build up the course-based business of your dreams. I just got back from the event that I do with Bo and Dawn Eason, where we help speakers build their platform, increase their impact, book more stages, whatever that looks like, whether it's smaller workshops or keynotes with 3,000 people like Bo does. And I've talked about this event before, and it's my favorite thing to do, especially this time of year, because I get to share the stage with 3 other fierce ladies, and we have this incredible synergy. And by the way, if you haven't listened to that Bo podcast where he talks about the power of your personal story to build up your business and to sell more, please check that out. I'll link to it in the show notes. As part of this event, I talked about the synergy between us ladies, and we really riff off each other. And I teach a lead gen machine content that I don't have anywhere else, and I plan to add it to the website. But meanwhile, we've been taking on a few clients about how to create that customer journey, how to get the right opt-in in place that then nurtures to your course. If you're interested in learning more about that, we're taking on a few clients over the course of the year. You can email me at hello@coursecreationboutique.com. So I always learn something when I speak at an event. And this time around, 3 things really popped out for me. And that's 1, I need to slow down. And I've got notes for me to slow down in my prep notes. I got to post it on my desk to slow down because when I'm teaching for webinars or virtual events, and that's the ex-New Yorker in me, that I want to talk fast. Some of you might think I talk fast on this podcast too. And I just need to slow down because I need to remember that folks want to pace with me, and sometimes my brain is going too fast. So that's number 1. Number 2, I had a few pieces of feedback that people were confused by words or phrases that I use in terms of course backends or lead gen backends. So like maybe it was software or saying the word backend even. And I need to kind of simplify it or at least give definitions as I go along. So I think at least those few slow down and really simplifying could be for teaching our courses as well. And then the third piece was don't try to overteach, because what I did was I threw in an extra bonus segment and I think it went well, but there was probably some pieces that I could have left out that felt a little overwhelming. So keep those in mind. I'm still learning. Every day I'm learning, and especially when I speak and I get feedback from attendees and participants, I'm growing. So think about that for yourself. Slowing down, pacing with participants or pacing with your course students, explaining more and defining, and then don't overteach. You don't have to overdo it. A lot of times with our courses, we want to underpromise and overdeliver. And you're going to overdeliver because you are the expert. You are amazing. So don't worry about that as much. So even though I talk about lead gen at this event, inevitably I'll get a couple of attendees who come up to me and ask me about courses. Now, everyone in the room is an incredible expert and a business owner. They are Warrior Mastermind members for Bo and Dawn. They have established businesses. They are very successful in their own right. And they'll come up to me and ask, well, Gina, I'm interested in courses, but do I have what it takes? How do I know that? So you've heard me talk on this podcast before about some of the requirements for starting a course. Now, some of these baseline requirements include 1, having an audience. You need people who you know, like, and trust you, and people who are interested in your work and in learning from you. So if you don't have an audience, start there. And I'll link to some episodes about picking a great niche audience or that perfect corner for you to start with. And then secondly, you need to have a unique system that helps your people get results. This might be from your own experience or from your work with one-to-one clients. It's just a system. It's your secret sauce before you can teach it in a course. By the way, if you're not feeling clear or confident in your system, spend some time refining that before thinking about creating a course. Listen to some more podcasts. I've got plenty on this. Or even better, enroll in my online course Jumpstart, which I walk through 4 questions to help you figure out if you've got a best-selling course idea. So that's a really great place to start. I'll link to it in the show notes. Then beyond these basic guidelines, there are some intangible elements that I think you need to have in order to succeed as a course creator, and that's what we're going to talk about today. It's these other intangibles that move the needle. Every year, I realize this more and more as a digital strategist and a course consultant. These are the pieces that really takes you to the finish line. So these, by the way, are some of the things that I oftentimes see with 99% of my done for you clients. So they'll come up with the intangibles and they'll know what it takes to get it done. They'll have it inside of them. And the first one is making the course a priority for at least a few months, and they make the time for it in their business. Now, I think a lot of course creators, especially starting out, underestimate the amount of time it takes to build a course. It's not as simple as putting together a sales page and selling it, or putting together a few videos or worksheets. There's a lot of moving pieces, and it's going to take time to do well. And one thing to keep in mind is that ideally, you're not just building a course, you're building an asset, an income producing asset for your business. Something that will continue to support your business growth for years to come. Like we talk about all the time, we're not just building a course, we're building up a course-based business. It's worth the time, I promise you, but you need to have an honest assessment of whether or not you have the right time right now to commit to creating a course. I think this is sometimes, if I could just be honest with you guys, this is why course creators don't launch. They start, but don't have time to see it through. And so that course is sitting there partially complete. And that's not what I want for you. I want you to cross the finish line before you begin. Make sure you have that time or that you can make the time to create your course. Because you're investing the money, the time, the energy, you have to commit to the project. And I would say most of our done for you clients say, when I commit to a project, I see it through. And they do, and they get it done. So some of you listening, you might be saying, that's me. I commit to something, I see it through. Some of you might be listening and thinking, well, sometimes I see it through, Gina. So, and I'm in the same boat, by the way. For professional projects, I turn it on and get it done. But then sometimes for my personal projects, I waver, I waffle, right? And I say, maybe I'll get it done. And when that maybe sneaks in, that means I'm not truly committed. And I know that. And I know I have a less likely chance to get it done. So the commitment, having the emotional drive to see it through, that's the first element. The second thing is that I see with successful course creators and have what it takes is they pace themselves. They know when it's time to rev up and to rev down. Like they always ask me, my done for you clients, when is it going to get intense? When is it going to get more time consuming? Because they know, again, I mentioned this, set aside that time to get it done. So they want to know how they should be pacing the next few months of their lives in order to see this across the finish line. So think about that. Think about how you might have to pace yourself or talk to yourself. Like you might have to pep talk yourself in the middle of your course creation. I just ran a 10K, my first 10K back in a while. And I already was kind of talking to myself about, okay, the first third of the event is going to go like this. Then the middle, I'm really going to have to talk to myself. So I already said to myself, you're going to talk about what you're grateful about. You're going to have a gratitude run in the middle of this run, and you're not going to want to do it. But that's how we're going to get through it, because we're going to pace ourselves. So I knew that was coming up. I knew the middle of the run was going to be when I wanted to walk. So I put plans in place to help me. So what plans are you going to put in place to pace yourself and to get it done, knowing that there's excitement at the beginning, just like at a race. Then as you get into it in the middle, like maybe you're 2 months in, you're like, dang, this is a lot of work. There's a lot of layers. and maybe you want to stop and the momentum kind of stops a little bit. What are you going to do to rev back up? The best course creators know how to do that and how to push through. And the third characteristic, and this is probably the most important, I'll be honest, course creators who are successful, who have what it takes, aren't afraid to fail. All of our done-for-you clients have failed in something or another. They're entrepreneurs, they're business owners. And the key difference between those who succeed and those who don't, and I mean in business, not just in course creation, has failed numerous times. It's easy to see the success of other businesses or course creators and think it all together easily, but you're not seeing the whole picture. Those who succeed are willing to fail and learn. And it's from these failures that they learn what to try next and leads to the eventual success. So check in with yourself. Are you willing to fail? Are you willing to put yourself out there and keep it going no matter what happens? So you have to be willing to fail and try and experiment. Go back to that Perry Moffmer podcast that I did where he talks about we have to experiment, we have to evolve. This is who we are as leaders and as business owners. I'll link to that in the show notes. I've had one done-for-you client, actually it was a student, who has tried on different ideas for her business throughout the year. Now, I don't highly recommend this, but she's an established business owner. She's trying on a new area of entrepreneurship, and she's trying out different things. She's not afraid to fail. She's throwing it against a wall, and then she's giving her a year to figure it out. Sometimes that's what it's going to take. So you got to fail. I've failed multiple times. I've talked about it on this podcast. It's just part of being a business owner and part of entrepreneurship. So I want you to think through these different elements. One, making the time and the commitment, and really committing, not just half committing, right? Secondly, pacing yourself. Like I paced myself through that 10K. And by the way, I didn't walk. I was really proud of myself. And then third, being okay with failure. That's the hardest one. Trust me. That's the toughest one as an entrepreneur. So hopefully this podcast has impacted you in some way. If it has, I would love for you to leave me a review. If you're starting out and you're thinking, do I have the right course idea? Please check out that online course, Jumpstart. Next week, we're going to talk about cross promotion and how to do it in a really great way. And this is an amazing way to help build your audience. So we'll workshop that next week. Until next week, go create, be you and be brilliant, and get it done.